The biggest mistake, I would say probably slapping a subscription on an existing offering and calling it transformation. It happens a
Okay.
lot. I see that a lot with professional services firms. They've got incredible expertise, they have real IP, they have legitimate value, and they read about recurring revenue and they get excited and launch kind of a SaaS-like subscription, but
Yep.
nothing else changes. Same delivery model, same metrics, same team structure, and they're just billing monthly now. And what happens is, sometimes they have good success in the beginning, customers sign up and then realize it's the same service with different billing and churn out, 3 months later, 6 months later.
Mm.
And the CEO, this is a good one. Probably heard it, and it's yeah, there is some truth to it. They'll say, well, it's subscription fatigue or it's market fit. But the real problem is they never redesign the experience for ongoing measurable value. Mm.
Man,
A
I couldn't agree with you more. Uh, we if you truly have a subscription business, you have to constantly be thinking about next check-in, how am I going to think ahead of what that challenge might be for them?
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, I mean, we use growth stages, when we work with companies, because just like you said, there's SaaS numbers. The challenge when somebody's at a $1 million business versus
Yes.
a $10 million. And so, yeah, we see the exact same thing. We tend to see it in staff size. So
Yeah.
when a company goes from 25 people, there's just natural challenges with adding more people. And then, you see the same thing at 75, 150, 250. There
Yep.
are there are just big, natural, painful moments as you're going through that. So with this change and saying, okay, I'm just going to slap a subscription fee on, we know that's not going to work. Um, any other things that are big watch outs that executives should start thinking about right now?
I think maybe copying SaaS metrics without really understanding what's underneath that. So
Hmm.
go to the subscription model and you start tracking MRR and churn rate. Because
Hmm.
that's I read it in a blog post, what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
But they haven't built the onboarding systems, health scoring, customer success motion, feedback loop that actually move the numbers. It could be that they do have a feedback loop. This is another big one, and this is across the board. Is we get that feedback and we don't do anything with it. So we get it and like, all right, yay, we have a good NPS score or whatever it is, but we're getting that feedback, but we don't act on it. We don't really
Yep.
start looking for that. We look for the good and kind of like, all right, yeah, the other stuff, or focus on the bad and like, wow, we've got a long way to go, and but not prioritizing those and what's going to have the most value. Um, could be top line growth without building the retention foundation. So again, you can't scale a leaky bucket. You got a bunch of things coming in the door and then falling right out, and investors will see through that pretty quick.
For sure.
Valuation multiple kind of stays flat because the business model is fundamentally unpredictable because whatever comes in, um, just falls right out. It's SaaS. The model is not a business model that you just adopt. It's a discipline that you commit to, and I think it fundamentally changes the way you think about the business, how you track those numbers, and the why behind it.